Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to Blissfully Bloom. I'm Victoria LeBlanc, a self love and soulful coach, and I'm your host. The intention of this podcast is to guide women to fall in love with themselves, embody confidence, and drop the stories of not good enough. Your soul will awaken to the truth that you have always been worthy. In this remembering, you no longer wait for permission, validation, or acceptance. You choose yourself, and you become a woman who blissfully blooms like a rose, showing the world your authentic self, talents, and gifts because it's your birthright. Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm really glad that you are tuning in today into this episode. I've really missed posting episodes and sharing podcast content with everyone. I actually have around 6 to 8 episodes that have yet to be published with guests, so I'm going to start sharing them. They have just been waiting to be edited, so I'm going to get to the editing process and make sure that they're ready to go live, and you will be seeing them within the next upcoming months. So I'm super excited for you to hear everyone's conversations. And for this particular episode, I actually had a conversation with Jocelyn Chong, and she is an internationally recognized network specialist, 4-time #1 international best-selling author, global speaker, and certified coach and podcast host. Jocelyn guides and empowers female entrepreneurs and business professionals to learn to master the art of international networking so they can accelerate their business growth, power and possibility, and break through the glass ceiling. When you engage Jocelyn, you access over 36,000 hours of experience, knowledge and wisdom in networking, leadership and management, sales and lead generation strategies, and extensive banking and finance experience. Jocelyn also infused spirituality in business in an intuitive way, and her followers are growing daily. She is a heart-centered entrepreneur, compassionate and kind person who thrives on human transformation and loves to help others to create a life by design. I cannot wait for you to hear our episode and our conversation today. So without further ado, let's get straight into the episode. Hi, Jocelyn. Welcome to Blissfully Bloom.
Hi, thanks Victoria for having me on your podcast show.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I'm so excited to speak about all things self love and self growth. So, my first question that I have for you is what is one thing that you wish your younger self knew?
The one thing that I wish I wanted to really adopt from the start was that self love was something that comes from within me, it's not external. And when I grew up, I always thought that I needed other people to tell me that I am lovable. But I didn't know that I could access that from the inside and that comes from who I am. And so if I had the opportunity to know that kind of wisdom, I think a lot of heartaches and pain points would have not had happened for me in my life.
Ooh, so can you dive into that further? Like, what did that look like when you were searching for that love externally? And then how were you able to really recognize that it did come from within?
An area in my life where I struggled a lot was body image. I was born into a family that, everyone was nice, petite, and they are in the right size. And for me, because I was a little bit more chubby, it was difficult for me to adapt. And so I, always felt that I am a misfit to the family model because I wasn't the right size. And when they told me that what, I should not dress certain way because it makes me look chubby, and so I held on to those statements that really didn't serve me. And I didn't
Mm.
think that one person's statement could really impact the rest of my life. And at a later stage in life, I realized that I could actually release that statement and really adopt self love and dig deeper to really embrace, recognize, and trust that I've got it all. I don't need external validation to approve of my body image and that I am enough. And so that made a huge difference when I realized that later stage in my life. But it's through life, ups and downs
Mm.
that we all learn all those type of mindset issues that we can overcome. And by overcoming them, I feel that, you know what, I am more empowered to dig deeper into self love. I embrace who I am just as I am. I am enough, and I continue to develop my self growth so that I am a better version of who I am every single day. So that is how I approach self love.
Oh, amazing. And I'm just curious if you feel comfortable sharing, how long do you think it took you to really release those body image struggles that you were dealing with?
It took me quite a few decades because I didn't know that I could actually release it. I held on to those statements so tightly to my life, and it was really impacting the way I show up as a leader, the way I show up presenting, because I'm always concerned, oh, will they accept my body shape? Will they accept who I am? Will I ever be enough? Because I did not fit the size that someone I respected say it should be that size to be perfect in their mindset. And that
Mm.
in life, everyone comes in different shapes and sizes, and we got to learn to embrace and accept things as they are because we are created uniquely as who we are. And so it was that I had to learn to renew my mindset over time and to let go of those statements that I held on so tightly. And because those statements came into my world when I was growing up in my teens, and as you know, when we grow up in our teens, we absorb a lot of things that people say to us. And until we know there is a way to release that, we held on to that. We can held on to that for decades and decades and decades. And that wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
serve us. And that could really keep us playing small and holding us back from the greatest life and the greatest future that is before us. And
Mm-hmm.
it was through a lot of books that I read, it was through a lot of podcasts that I listened, and also then, through the mindset work that I go, I can trace back to why sometimes I feel I'm never enough. I can trace back to why I always wanted to seek validation from others because I was never great in relationship because I sabotaged that through a statement that someone said to me that, you know what, I don't fit into the size of the Asian culture. I am,
Mm.
bigger, taller, chubbier. And so those insecurities really, really then impacted other areas of my work, my life, my relationship, my health, my perspective. And until I chose to really let go of that at the age of 38, one day I
Mm.
go, this is enough because this is really, really hurting me. And that I knew that there is mindset work that I can renew my mind. I can really adopt new experiences and let go of that and still respect the person and forgive myself and move
Mm-hmm.
on. And it didn't happen overnight. It took time to, number one, recognize that. Number two, let that go. Number three, practice new mindset to go, I am accepting myself as who I am. And everyone has got a different perspective. And so, what about the rest of the 7.8 billion people that see me as beautiful? And what if I can just learn to embrace myself and really truly enjoy every part of who I am? And so those
Mm.
are the shifts that gradually happen incrementally over time. And that deepened my level of confidence. That then deepened the way I actually show up. And now I'm like, this is who I am. I own my authority, I own my position, I own who I am. This is the body I am. And so I am enjoying and loving the temple that I am living in right now.
I adore your story. It's so inspirational. Um, and what would you say is the kind of mindset work that you really started to take on to release those stories that were holding you back?
So I did a lot of life coaching around how I can shift that mindset. And then I also recognized that it is reprogramming my mind. We have a lot of external comments, statements, remarks that people would say, but it is so important to set clear boundaries on what we accept and what we actually let go. And the area that I recognized was that a lot of other people also experience body image issue. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
think that was the case. I thought I was alone, that I was the only one suffering inside in my head. And as I got to know communities that help people overcome that, I realized that, hey, I can do the same by applying simple steps to renew my mind. I can then really take control of my own future and step up into my own authority. And then once I know all that, I can serve and help others who are going through the same scenario. So those are the very simple steps that I took. And it comes in so many different support and resources where
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for other ways to see my life differently. And I changed the community I surrounded myself with, that they are not the community that wants to see you for certain things that you would tick the box. I actually
Mm-hmm.
shift community that see me as a person, listen to me, and find that I'm valuable, and find that whatever I create and share my content out there, they are enjoying that. And sorry, there's so many ways that I had test, trial, experiment, and then I got results. And so it's also a huge part of acknowledging that certain people are not good for us and that we have outgrown that relationship, which means we can move forward. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
they can come on a journey with us and grow as well, and we welcome that, we embrace that. But when we are moving and outgrowing all those areas that are not serving us from a mindset limiting beliefs, then we need to then find groups that embrace the next level to help us be a higher version of who we are. So I hope
Mm-hmm.
that answered your question in a very, long and windy way, because it is a journey. And number
Mm-hmm.
one is to recognize, that there is ways to think about yourself very differently.
Yeah. And I love how you mention how you're not alone in it. Whenever I was working at this nursery in college, I never opened up about my mental health struggles or my body image struggles at all. But when I started talking to my coworker, lo and behold, like she was going through the exact same struggles that I was going through, and it just made me feel so much less alone. But it's kind of finding those people who you feel safe enough to be vulnerable with and safe enough to like share and open your heart, because I think it's kind of like finding that balance between like overly sharing to everybody and then finding those support groups like you said who are going to uplift you and want to raise you up with them.
Your point around being safe, I think a lot of times we need to really gradually find a place that's safe, because a lot of places are not safe for us to share, the way we feel, because there are, of course, people that doesn't support certain perspective and views, and that's okay. The world has got so many blends of perspective.
Mm-hmm.
When you recognize that you can be feeling safe, you know that because your body will speak to you about that. And when you have a conversation with someone that lifts up your spirit, that is a sign that you want to spend more time with the people. And when you walk away from a conversation, you feel more expanded, you feel more enhanced, you feel more empowered. Stay in that kind of environment. When you walk away from a conversation and you feel that your energy is low, and you feel lesser of a person, it's a signal that that is not the right place and group of people that you want to spend time with. So these are subtle areas that you can recognize, because if you continue to find places that are safer for you to grow, you will grow in leaps and bounds. And so be open, and I hope that our listeners will find that, wherever, whatever stage you are, whether in life, in business, in career, in relationships, there will be a place where you find a sense of belonging, and you are embraced, you are seen, you are heard, and it is a very judgment free place, because we don't need any more judgment. We actually need more empowerment, encouragement, and celebration over every single small milestones that we have progressed in our lives. And that place, there's few and far between, but there are those communities around. So find those places and help them see you as someone who is a shining light, see you as someone who has got valuable resources to add to the world, and see you as someone who is powerful. And you want to really constantly look to those opportunities, because everyone is unique. Everyone has got gifts and talents that we can help them shine for. There's enough room for everyone to shine. Everyone
Yes.
is equal.
I'll shine bright. I love it. Do you have any certain either social media communities, positive communities that you follow that you'd like to share?
So I have very quickly outgrown a lot of communities that sometimes doesn't really serve me, I'll be honest. And I constantly grow and shift, because I apply a lot of principles and concepts so that I can actually move forward. The
Mm-hmm.
communities that I spend a lot of time with are podcasting communities, because I know that they are there to really share a message that is bright, that is for the future. I also very actively remove, unsubscribe, delete communities that pull me down, that doesn't feel that they want to support your message, because there's a lot of people that want you to stay stagnant. And so
Mm-hmm.
I have actively removed myself from those communities as well. Where you can find good communities is Facebook group. There are lots of Facebook group that you can go in, you can connect, and you know that over time you will see whether those are genuine groups that really, really see you and accept you and want you to progress in life. There are groups that are there, but they are not there to really champion and celebrate your success. They are there for their own agenda. And so
Mm-hmm.
recognize that as well. Where you can find other communities besides podcasts, besides Facebook group, is create your own. Create your own networking group where you will attract the right people that absolutely want to champion a vision, a mission together. And that you see that when you champion something together, it is actually improving someone else's life. You can see that transformation happening. You can see that they are lighter, brighter, they are happier, they contribute powerfully to the economy, they are people of service. They speak from their heart. They don't impose, they don't push, they don't force, they don't put you down, they don't keep you small, they don't tell you off. They actually allow you to grow and nurture you as a human being. And so
Mm-hmm.
recognize those communities wherever you are in the world when you listen to this podcast, whether it's locally, your local groups like Toastmasters, your local charity organization that champion a particular mission. That's another avenue that you can access. Your local women's group, your local mothers group, your local group that you meet for networking, and they really want to support you in your business, and they go, oh my god, you got this business, you got this product, how can I support your business and product so that you can really shine, because what you have created is going to add so much value in someone else's life. So those are the areas and suggestions I might offer.
Well, thank you. I do feel like it's almost like we tend to isolate ourselves and we forget about how beneficial community and finding community is. It really can be just that simple of following a Facebook group and finding them, or like you said, starting your own if you can't find any that you resonate with or that you vibe well with. So I really love that. And we're just rising together. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, absolutely. Here's the secret around that is before you find a group, list down your core values. What do you stand for?
Mm-hmm.
And really ask yourself those questions. What do you stand for? What you will be a non-negotiable for you? You know, when
Mm-hmm.
people say things that doesn't go in line with your belief system, are they going to expand you? If they're going to expand you and enhance and open your mindset, it's good. If they are not, then it's time. It is a signal for you to remove yourself from those kind of environment because you know the most precious commodity and resource in the world is your time. And if you can recognize that and that you can continue to grow and continue to expand yourself with the right community, you will excel. In a week's time, you excel. In a month's time, you excel. But equally, if you are in the wrong community, 6 months can eat up your precious time and can actually
Mm-hmm.
hold you back from achieving your greatest goals and ambitions in life.
Mm. Wow. I almost feel like it's symbolizing a plant in a pot, and if their environment isn't very serving them so well, then they will end up drooping and becoming withered. So I have like 11 or so plants right now, and most of them are doing well, but I think I made a mistake and put one in the environment where it wasn't supposed to be, and now it's downhilling. So I like to think about it like that, like who we surround ourselves with and what garden we are, I guess, planting ourselves in. It will determine how we sprout and bloom and the pace in which we grow. So,
Mhm. Absolutely. And I think it's just being in a very nurturing environment, and it's a daily practice. It's not a set and forget approach when it comes to, you know, self growth and self love. It's a daily thing, and when you recognize that, you know, obstacles and challenges will always come into our life. There's never a linear path. There's always a windy, you know, path along the way, but that windy path is meant to be exciting. And so to recognize the markers that, you know, are not gonna help you progress and to quickly overcome that. And sometimes you can't feel that you can overcome that alone, and that's where you reach out for support, whether it's professional support or from close friends or family members who really, really want to champion your vision and your goals in life. And so if it's, you know, for coaching, then you might need a coach that can help you walk you through that journey, walk you through that fire, and you know hold you through that space because we all will go through a time of testing that is challenging, that's painful, that is unpleasant, and it's just part of life. And so rather
mhm.
than actually avoiding it is to actually welcome it, and then once you rise above it, you know the next round, right, this is going to be challenging, but how I can rise above that with different, you know, strategies, concepts, or practices that can really keep you even more elevated to a whole nother level.
Mm. And then what do you say is, like, I know we've been talking about becoming our best selves, but how do we know if we are not at that level yet? How do we become aware of, oh, maybe I'm taking a part in habits that are not for me and are actually dragging me down?
So, a couple of examples that I can offer. If you're running a business and your business is not progressing, and you feel that you are not moving in line with the targets and the goals, whether it's your 1 year vision, 3 year vision, 5 year vision, then you are probably not moving with the right crowd. And so either you change your approach of that community that you're part of, Or equally, you review whether your strategies is not, supporting your business going forward. And if it's not, what can you do differently? The self-evaluation is the most powerful thing that you can ask yourself. And it is this three simple question. What did I do well? What didn't I do well at all? And what could I do different?
Mm-hmm.
And if you actually take 7 minutes and write down what did you do well, what didn't work well, and what you could do differently, and just write maybe a few sentences, 3 to 5 sentences in each question, you will be able to witness your own growth. And when you could do differently, what actions can you take in the next 24 hours, in the next week, in the next month to change that? Because it's what you change and what you do differently and then you feel differently that can help you move forward to be a higher version or a better version of who you are. And when you feel that something is heavy, something is really, really keeping you small, and you know that because our emotions doesn't lie. Our emotions are inner compass that actually speaks to us that when you're not happier, when you're down, when you're sad, when you are trying to hide, when you feel overwhelmed, when you feel like you're stuck and you can't move forward, those are signals from your emotions that tell you that you are not in the right place in the right time. Reach out for support, reach out for guidance. So if your business is at that point in time, really then seek guidance from someone who you respect, who you admire, who also have got proven track record of success that can help you. So it's really important to note that if you
Mm-hmm.
are doing life and your relationship had always failed you, let's say you dated a guy that always the first 5 dates are amazing, and then after that they ignore you, they say things that disrespect you, they don't do things that keep their word, they are not on time, they don't respect listening to you, then it is a signal that you need to really reevaluate whether you want to stay in that kind of relationship that doesn't hold you up as a person, doesn't see you as someone who is powerful, who is beautiful, who is acceptable. And you will want to have a conversation and address those concerns in a very neutral way and see if there's any mutual solutions that you can bring together. If that doesn't progress, then it's time to really reconsider whether that relationship is suitable for you in your future progress.
Thank you for those examples. I feel like they kind of painted a clear picture of like what to do and how to become more aware of what might not be working. And I do like how you also used or just included the question what went well, because that's kind of recognizing your small wins or your big wins throughout the month. So let's see. What does self love mean to you?
Self love means that you want to recognize your own talents, your own gifts, your own progress in life, and that there will be times where you might not always be at that height of self love. And so when you recognize that things are not who you are, your normal self, you're not fun, you're not enjoying life, you're not at peace and calm, like there's a lot of just heaviness, then it is a sign that you want to really change something, shift something that you do in order to move yourself towards self love. And what you can do that quickly is to start journaling. Journal out all those things that really does bother you, and then do meditation to really renew and calm your mind down. I do EFT tapping to really shift those areas that really just like meh, some days on just things are not going in the direction that you plan it to be. And so whether it's anxiousness or overwhelmed by circumstances that is, for whatever reason it may be, really use EFT tapping to tap it out so that you can shift to a positive vibration. And then I find that going out into nature, I am very blessed. I live by the beach. So for me, the ocean and just the rhythm of the waves coming in and listening to and feeling the fresh wind, and also being close to sand allows me to ground myself. And when I'm grounded in that element, I feel that I'm more connected to what I am doing. Otherwise, I'm sort of floating and I'm sort of like hanging up in the air, which is not ideal for me when I'm going through challenging periods. And so
Mhm.
I know what I can access when I go through those periods, because we all go through obstacles, challenges, struggles in life. There's no perfect journey, but it's the tools that we can access for us to shift that around quickly. I also
Mhm.
have got a lot of pattern interrupters that I can access quickly as well, that can shift to a mind that sometimes digs so deep and then expand, something small into something big and then disrupt the whole day. Is to really just think about, I do this like, so if you write on right hand, try to write on left hand. You'll find that your brain is going through a different shift because your brain has never
Mm.
accessed that part, and it's a great pattern interrupter. The other thing is when you go to gym, I like to do the ball smash because that is a great way for me to just let all the hardness, the pain, the struggles out when I do exercise and work out. And that is great. Like, I love to do all those high intensity workout because I can just release all those energy out of the system. Running
Mhm.
is a great way. So when you run, you just really let all, again, the happiness out of the way, and you generate a lot of happy hormones that is available within your body. So those are the areas that I really take note. Other things that I want to offer is that, sometimes going for a haircut cleans up as well. I do, haircut every so often to just, change a bit of my hairstyle. I do go for massages very often as well because it's great to just bring blood circulation in the body. And I love cold shower because it helps me dissolve all my fears, anything that is just really blocking me. I ask that, the universe will bring that to the surface, and I acknowledge that that is anxiousness. And then I ask the water, the clean, cold water, to dissolve that. So those are the tools that I access to just remove and bring a lot of calmness and peace into my world, into what I do, into how I serve my clients, into my conversations, into my keynote speak, into my writing. So I find that that is really, really available for everyone. And you find what suits you, what is available for you, because you might find that going out for a nice meal might work for you. You might think that
Mhm.
drinking water might work for you, and it will clean your body because sometimes our body is dehydrated and we need water to detox our body. You might do a dance. A lot of my friends love dancing and they move around for a couple of minutes and that shift the whole energy and vibration. Others like to listen to rock music, like my partner. He's like, rock music for 5 minutes is just like clearing his head a lot when he's going through a very stressful time. Or long drives, see things from a different perspective. The other thing that I like to do when I change and move things around is I choose to drive a different direction intentionally, so that our body is consciously driving from A to B when we already know the direction. But when you actually choose to drive a different direction, you have to refocus differently and you rewire your brain differently as well. So those are
Mhm.
another available methods that you can shift. I find that there are occasions I will go and see a kinesiologist. There are occasions that I will engage a hypnotherapist for a season. There are occasions where I would access different modalities that is available for me. And so it is knowing that there is other ways to really allow you to choose, that you're not limited by what is available only. And when you're open to access what is available out there, you never know what you can land on. And it's exciting to learn different things in different ways and different tools and strategies that is already available and successful for a lot of people. So I would
Hmm.
encourage people to access what works for you. Ultimately, all of us are different, and I have tried different tools and techniques for different seasons, and some I go back over and over again because I find that I have a lot of success in them, and I want to encourage you to do the same.
Yeah, so many modalities and healing tools. Thank you so much for sharing. And I just feel like it's a lot of it, once you start to commit yourself and devote yourself to those practices, you're building that proof from within that your mind, body, and soul, they are worthy of self love and they are worthy of your own love. And as you continue to take your walks or take your cold showers or read that book or listen to those podcasts that uplift you and that nourish you, you'll just be mind blown by the amount of growth that you'll see from your starting point all the way up until now. Because I feel like a year ago when I looked at myself in the mirror, I was like, man, I really wish I would love myself, like just for a second. Like I couldn't, it was probably maybe 5 or 4 years ago, but I really struggled with telling myself positive statements and really truly feeling true self-love. But I'm starting to open myself up to that, and I think the more that you do, the more that you fall in love with that and fall in love with the process of falling in love with yourself again.
Absolutely. And it is a lifelong journey. It is, again, I said earlier that it's not a set and forget approach that once we got it, then life is a bed of roses, because as we progress, as we take on more responsibility, there's new levels that we will then be challenged to grow even more. And don't let that hold you back from growing even more, because the world is full of possibilities awaiting for you to access. It is available for us every single day. And so if you are open to reach to the whole new level and height of success, then you will expand. And when you expand, you will be uncomfortable because you've never done that practice or launch that product before, or connect with that client, or address 1,000 people in the audience before, because formerly you're speaking to 500. So when you address 1,000, it's a whole nother level of insights of presentation skills that you want to enhance. And so it is that over time that you can expand and allow yourself to really enjoy the journey, and not make the journey unpleasant. Enjoy the journey, every single milestone. Enjoy it, really,
Mm-hmm.
really experience that, go deep, have fun with it, be lighthearted, laugh about, if it doesn't work well, laugh about it, not be taking yourself too serious, and just have fun. Life is all about fun, and you only have one life to really enjoy. And this season of life, at the time when we're recording this, is 2023. So, hey, make the most of 2003. See what else is available for you.
Mm-hmm. And the journey is ever changing and ever going. It's continuous. So what would you say, what kind of advice would you give to somebody who really lacks self-confidence and wants to try to grow it so that they can start diving into things that may be a little bit uncomfortable or just trying some new things, maybe taking a little bit of some risks?
If you feel that you don't have confidence in a particular area, whether it's a skill in marketing, a skill in managing your finance, a skill in sales, a skill in running a team, leading groups, whatever skill you may be looking for. I'm talking from a business perspective because I'm a business coach. I always wanted to invite you to know that, like everyone else, we all start somewhere, and that you are going to be invited to start from where you are, just as you are. And as long as you're comfortable to start just as you are, every single 1% that you incrementally improve is a 1% forward into the next step of that goal, that performance metric that you created for yourself. So develop that by practicing it, evaluating that, asking for feedback, look for coaches who can see you, help you, embrace you, understand you, and help you through that journey. If you can accept and really embrace all those five key things, you will be so far ahead in whatever you do. Confidence is built over time. Nobody is born with confidence. Some people are, a lot more confident than others, but it is something that you can actually develop over time. And why I say that is because I say from my own experience, I'm someone who is very introverted. Over time, I felt that the more I practice that muscle, the easier it becomes. Like anything, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And so, if you can narrow down exactly which area you want to improve, whether it's speaking, let's use speaking as an opportunity to workshop this idea. And that you want to speak, you want to speak comfortably, you want to perform as a great speaker, you want to have a message that delivers outcome, you want to support a wider group of audience, and you have not had the opportunity to speak yet. Why not write your message? Write a 3-minute message or a 5-minute message, and really then start getting out there, speak to podcast hosts who wants to share your message. And then get to groups, maybe start doing Facebook Live, maybe start doing Instagram Live. Talk about 1 minute, a topic of passion that truly just lights you up. Yes, it is scary because your nervous system have never done that before, and it's okay. Nobody's going to be perfect from day one. So leave perfectionism out of the door. Just enjoy the process and just get on and do that. Find people who want to champion you. Call up 3 friends who go, if I go on Facebook Live, can you support me? Can you, comment and say, something that's positive? Because I need your support right now. Ask for
Mm-hmm.
mentor to give you some feedback how to sharpen that. People with mentor, people with coaches are people who actually really accelerate in their growth. That's
Mm-hmm.
why if you think about sportsmanship, they all have coaches to coach them. The coach doesn't play the game for them. The coach watch the game and give them direction, feedback, improvement tips so that they
Mm-hmm.
can play even better. And that's why they're the
Yeah.
people that makes the most money, right? Because they're willing to get feedback, they're willing to ask for perspective, and your coach is someone that's going to see things from a whole different perspective that can help you go, these are your strengths. Sharpen it even more. These are the areas that you need to improve. Let's do it this way. Let's try this way. That is
Mm-hmm.
why they make millions and millions because they got a coach, and some of them have got 2, 3 coaches to really elevate the way they do things. So, if you never had a coach before, this is an opportunity for you to invite yourself to work with a coach, because a coach, the right one, of course, you need to choose the right coach, will really help you move forward in life in ways you never thought possible, because we only think from one perspective. But a coach that has got success in an area that you're looking for guidance on can offer you so many different perspectives, help you really sharpen that area, and then you can grow so much. And so it could be speaking, it could be a voice coach, it could be a coach that can help you write the best message and help you present that well, help you articulate that with energy, help you inject something that suits your energetics, help you speak, help you stand strong, champion you, celebrate you. That is what you can do. So
Mm.
that's one example. And of course, if you use the same framework of how I use this example, you can walk away and do it for anything, for motherhood, for your business, for setting up a product based business, for being a mindset coach, a transformation coach.
Okay, so I would love to know what goals you are working on currently and yeah, just kind of dive into that where you feel like you're headed for the next year?
Absolutely. So at the moment in my business, there is a few one-on-one coaching spots that is available. So if any of the listeners wants to come on board and be in my space for one-on-one coaching, it's truly customized to really help you accelerate where you are, whether it's mindset in your career or whether it's business. Equally, I can help you do that. I also have group coaching programs that I'm releasing and launching throughout the next few months. So if you come into my website and you can access and sign up and let me know that you are interested, I can always let you know when those programs come up that you can come on board and join because that will benefit you and of course, help you grow as an individual as well. I have got locally, if you're ever in Melbourne, I am doing in-person workshops as well, which I'm collaborating with another coach who is a personal branding coach. And so both my skill sets and hers complement each other. And we are going to facilitate a lot of in-person workshops to really help individuals, enhance, get back into the community in a way that is, much more confident and use whatever tools on LinkedIn that can really enhance their branding and help them show up as their best self and also boost their visibility as well. I also have got a lot of podcast, opportunities that I'm part of. So if you ever want to come into the space of podcasting, let me know. I can direct you towards that. And there's many other networking groups that I am joining part of. So there's a lot of resources that I can direct you or help you out if you ever want to learn more about the work that I do and can take it to a whole nother level.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing. And I'll definitely include all of your links in the description box. And yeah, that just sounds incredible of the opportunities that you are giving and the connections that you have. And another thing, too, I would love for you to dive into your best selling books. So, Transforming Pain into Purpose and Success Codes.
Yes, so I'm a four-time number one international bestseller. Like you said, Victoria, I've got success codes, I've got transforming pain into purpose, I've got prosperity codes, and I've got the fourth one, Unleash, Untame, and Uncensor, which is for business owners who really just want to take their, work to a whole nother level. So as we grow and expand in our business, we always want to either scale or we want to, refine the way we do things so that we are more productive, we are more effective when we connect with our clients and provide even better experience for our clientele. So those books are really, really available for you to access even more resources. There are ideas and strategies that you can walk away and implement once you read them. But more importantly is, to do the work together with coaching because then it is customized to really tailor towards your exact business stage or life stage that you want support in.
Amazing. Is there like links for those books to purchase as well that you have? Okay.
Absolutely. So if you go to the book page on my website, all the links are available there for you to purchase whichever books that pull you into the world of reading and that you feel called to read them because they are just powerful tools to support you, to resource you and to give you a different perspective and of course stories are going to inspire you and to really help you, you know access, anything else that you find would be improving the way you think, the way you do life, the way you do business.
Ooh, I can't wait to read and add them to my book collection. And what would you say if someone has a story to share and they're looking to write their own books? What would you advise for them to continue going and to continue writing and editing and going through the book writing process?
With writing books, you have got the opportunity to really work with a company, a publisher that can help you focus on a theme because there are so many stories in our lives and so certain stories would fit certain theme a lot better. importantly is to keep writing because then you continue to improve your writing skills, but also you bring out a lot more stories that is ideal for that particular theme for that particular book as well. Get professional help if you're looking to be an author, and then, you know, ask for guidance and wisdom. How long is the writing process going to take? When you want to launch the book? And why do you want this book to be launched? What message you want to release to the world? And how it can add value to someone reading that? Because
Mhm.
ultimately, the stories that we tell, the strategies that we share, the content that we put out is meant to really make other lives better. And so that is, my truest intention, that, whatever I put out every single day, I share or I put out through podcasts or through writing a content, is to really help one more
Mhm.
soul, that their lives are going to be better, brighter, and that, they feel so much more valued. So that is my intention every single day.
That's so beautiful and so inspiring. I think that's definitely one little why that could motivate you to keep going. So let's see, where can listeners connect with you, Jocelyn?
There are a number of ways that you can connect with me if you found that, what I've shared had really just sparked something in you, sort of keep you really excited. I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn. So you can find me on Jocelyn Chong. You can also find me on Instagram, and you can come to my website and connect with me through my website as well. You can join my email list so that I can share with you content, information, anything that can just light you up even more. So, my true purpose on this earth, and I know that this is my calling, is to help guide someone to their greatness. So I would love that if we are crossing paths together, that you always leave every conversation that I have got with you, you are far more joyful, you're far more abundant, you're far more happier, you're far more lighter, you're far more calmer, you're far more peaceful. That is my truest intention.
I love that. Well, my final question that I usually ask all my guests to kind of end the episode, it's a signature question, is what does it mean to blissfully bloom?
When you follow your bliss, you will naturally bloom because that is just the equation. And
Mm.
follow your whole body's intention because your body speaks to you. Your mind is one of the many areas of the body that speaks to you, but also equally don't forget other parts of your body because your emotions also have from head to toe, they are speaking to you. So when you're blissful, you will bloom. And when you bloom, guess what? The vibration of the world is lifted up. You lift up someone's countenance. You smile to someone, and guess what? Someone will be really happy when they receive your smile. When you share eye contact with someone and you share that out of such a place of unconditional love, someone can see that, someone can feel that. And that also demonstrates you're seeing someone as who they are. And when you do that, you really add value to the world. You
Mhm.
really do, because that makes such a big difference in this world that the world needs right now, because a lot of people are in different types of, situation, whether it's financial struggle because a lot of things are getting more and more expensive in different parts of the world, or there's a lot of just, pain and, natural disasters that happen in different parts of the world that people need someone to share a word of encouragement. So follow your bliss, that whatever you can do for one individual at a time, one individual at a time. If you can't do for many, just start with one. It will make such a big difference for the lives around us.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing your perspective on that. And thank you so much again, Jocelyn, for coming on the show. I Had such a wonderful time speaking with you today about self love, and I just love your energy so much. It's just so calm and radiating and bright. So, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom today.
Thank you so much for having me, Victoria. You're an amazing, amazing podcast host, and your smile is very contagious.
Oh, thank you. Your smile is contagious too.